Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craftery. Today we are going to do a challenge. It is arm's length art put on by Kim Newburg. And she made some little folding matchbook type things with post-it notes in the middle. And I like that, so today we are going to make them. Now, I plan on mass making a bunch of these, probably 30-ish of them, just because. But I'm only going to do 3 of them right now, just to show you my thought on them. So let's get started. So I've got 3 pieces of scrapbook paper. I have tons and tons and tons of scrapbook paper, and I don't normally use it. So I'm going to use some of it for these projects. I've also got tons of scraps of scrapbook. So mine are 4 inches by 9 inches. Now, is that a good size? I don't know, but the post-it note's going to fit in really, really easy. I actually started this video with a 3.5 inch one, and I didn't think it was going to be wide enough if you wanted to sew. My first thing is I'm going to fold it down. I'm not going to measure it, but I will measure just to show. It is a little under 2 inches. So that's probably about what I'm going to do. Now when I mass make these, I will do it all. I'll cut all my paper, then I'll, fold the top part over, fold the next piece over, etc. So let's do that. This one here, a lot of this is double-sided. Excuse me. And just going to fold, that's going to be the top part, the little flap. This is cute paper. And let's fold the top on that one. Now the next part, I want the post-it notes. Mine are 3 by 3. I think that's a standard size, but I know you can get them in different sizes now. But this is going to give lots of room, and if you want to sew, you'll have lots of room to sew if you want to sew all the way around or something else. So this next part I want at 4 inches. Now I could go and mark all these. I could use a scoreboard, but I have a scoreboard, but I never use a scoreboard. And yeah, there's a lot of different ways I could do this. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have this here. I'm just going to try to get about 4 inches and fold this up. So my thing, my flat spot is going to be 4 inches. So then we're going to have this here. So then when it opens up, this will be in here. Now Kim said she had put 10 post-it notes into one of these, which seems a reasonable amount, and I'm probably going to do the same. So there is one folded and ready to have the next step. So this one here, the same thing. I'm going to just roughly fold it up to 4 inches. I'm going to try and make it as straight as possible. So then we're going to have another one. Now this one, when you open it up, there's no reason why you can't journal on that. Even though it's striped, there's some color, a pen will show up on that. Slip them into pockets. And let's do this one too. for the sake of time, I'm not going to do any sewing, but I do plan on sewing around a lot of these. So now there is that part. So now we've got the initial part of 3 of these. Now once you got going on these would be so easy to mass make. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip those 2 corners. You don't have to, but I think they just look a little nicer. They look a little more finished with those rounded. You could round all the corners for that matter. Okay, there's that. Let's get rid of those little scraps. Now, I love inking. I always ink. Doesn't need a lot. And it really depends on your paper too, but I find the inking just gives that little extra finished touch. And it only takes a second. It tends to give it that little bit older look. Okay, let's do the inside too. And even this is a kind of a busy background, but you could definitely journal over that if you wanted. Okay. I'm not going to ink up these other 2 because you get the idea of what this is going to be like. Now for closures, there would be so many ways. You could use a string, you could use a ribbon, you could just put something here and tuck that underneath. You could use magnets, you could use Velcro dots, even just a paper clip. Pretty much anything, any kind of closure. You could make like a little paper band that slides over. So many things. I am going to use, on this one, I'm going to use a thin clear fastener. Now these are Velcro. I got these at Michael's, I want to say. They're nice and tiny. And they actually work really, really good. I've used a few of them on some projects. And they actually stick pretty good too. As you can see, they are stuck together here. I'm trying to get them apart. I guess next time I won't store these this way. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now, if I put one of these on first, now even though these are sticky, I am going to put just a little bit of glue on the end. I will use art glitter glue. Just because of the fact that you never know. A little bit of glue never hurt. And this I'm going to try to put in the middle on the inside. So you can see, you can't see that much. Like, it's not like it really stands out. That's why I like these particular ones. Now for the other side, I'm going to put this on top of there. I can There we go. And put just a little dab of glue on there. Then I'm going to close this. Just hold it down for a second. Let's move those out of the way. And now open it up carefully. Make sure that it's glued down. Now they don't stay flat, perfect, but nothing will. But you're going to slide that into a pocket. You could glue it onto a page. Let's put our little post-it notes in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I happen to have a whole whack of post-it notes. And then I want to try to get it kind of in the middle. Just like that. Now that could be done at this point. Decorate it up. You know, put a couple flowers on it. You could do a wide variety of things. I just happen to have these sitting next to my desk. But there's a few flowers on the corner. Die cuts. Wow, you could use all kinds of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mass make a bunch of these. Then I'm going to decorate them. I'm going to try a variety of closures on these as well. And then when I get them done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the finished results of these. Just to show you all the different ways that you could do these up. Kim put a little butterfly on hers and then tucked it behind, which did work really good. And the idea of this is to use what you have on your desk. Being that my desk is so small, I don't have much. But I have a rolling cart that I have tons of stuff in. And that's kind of where I put what would be on my desk goes into the rolling cart. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the finished ones and give you some more ideas. Be right back. Okay, so I have a bunch of these post-it note holder thingies done, and I just wanted to share a bunch of the different closures that I came up with for these, because there's so many different ways you can close them. So there is this one here. Now this has a magnet on there, so you can take that right off and then on the inside. Now some of these I will probably sew around, but for now I haven't. But I just put a green butterfly, but you can also just pull that off as well. So you wouldn't even need a magnet. You could just make it like that. So that one's kind of cool. I did this one here. Now this is the same idea, but it's not magnetized. But the way this one is that you could put this on either way. And I just hung a little tag with a bow for a little bit of decoration. I've got one of my homemade paper buttons there that I stitched on. This one here I did stitch around, hand stitched of course. And it's really, really cute. So kind of the same as the other one, but kind of not. I just made it this part long and made it into like a little banner shape at the end. This one here, simple closure, just a piece of Velcro. No decorations on it, nothing, just plain. You could easily decorate that up. Then I got this one, which is just a bow. There's a piece of ribbon and a bow. Something very simple, easy, not too complicated at all. Then I've got this butterfly one. And this was a little label thing that I made a long time ago. I just put it on with a couple of brads and left the back open to use it as a tuck spot. And these tags are keeping this closed. These are some tags I recently made at a scrapbook retreat that I went on. And you open it up, and of course your post-it notes inside. So again, a very easy closure, very effective closure on how to keep those closed. And again, all these you could glue down to a page or tuck them in a pocket. There is this one here, which I put on a policy envelope. Now when I made this, my intent was to put the string behind this little circle part, but I ended up, I glued it all down without thinking. But I made this whole thing the wraparound for the string. So it just goes around a couple of times, and then right behind that whole thing comes around the other side. But very easy closure again. Then there is this one here that I just put a burlap type string around. It has one grommet there. And again, I need to put post-it notes in this one. I just stuck one in there. But very easy closure again. And you just divide the two strings, wrap them around a couple times, tie it, and you're done. Then there is just your regular policy envelope opening. And I just put a couple labels there just to cover up that piece of the brad that's in there. And again, super easy. I haven't really decorated this one either. And you can just leave it right like that if you want. This one here is just a tuck. Just tucks behind there. I love that paper. It's so pretty. But yeah, this one very easy. Like I say, it just tucks behind there. That holds it closed. These were just little collage pieces that I had made out of some die cuts that I cut out ages and ages ago. There is this one, which is just a little embellishment thing that I made a long time ago with the hummingbird. And this one has the Velcro on there. And I need to put post-it notes in there. But just something very simple. I've got a whole bunch of these little cluster things made. So it was easy to just glue one on there and done. Then there is this one. Now I just put brads in there. And this ribbon just tucks behind there. I got little hearts covering up the end of the brads on the inside. But just, again, a very simple closure. These just tuck behind the other thing. It's just a piece of ribbon. But I thought this actually little closure was kind of cute. Ribbon's kind of thick to be wrapping around the policy envelope, but that's where I got those. And these were actually two of my little paper buttons that I've been making. There is this one here, and it's got a wooden piece there. I just stitched that wooden piece on as well as glued it, but I just did an X on his body there. And again, this just lifts open. Very simple closure, but it's very effective. And just layered up a few things just for decoration. This one here, I had the collage bits, or the collage is already made. So I just added an extra paper button there. A couple paper buttons here as well. Now to close this, when I first made this one, I thought the weight of this would keep it closed, but it didn't. So then I added this little clock hand, and you just turn that, and that's what holds it closed. And I just put the label in there to cover up those stitches, and a little circle there for the brad. But I thought this little hand thing was actually very cute for closing that. So there's just a few ideas of how to close these. Please do check out Kim's channel. I'll leave a link to that below. But there's tons of different ways you can close these to decorate them up more. As I say, some I didn't really even decorate, and some I did. But actually this one here is probably my favorite because I love how all the colors go together. But that's those, and do check out her arm's length art videos, as well as her other videos. She's got a Facebook group, but feel free to join my Facebook group and her Facebook group, and like, share the videos, etc., all that fun stuff. We'll see you again soon in another video. Bye.